Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of the WMMA 5 series here on the channel. As Pride 18, Gold Fury 2, the last show of 2001, is shortly going to be underway. Before we do that, though, let's look at the mail. There's a lot has happened. First of all, we signed Jerome Levine as obviously a well-renowned kickboxer from France, is a K1 fucking Grand Prix champion, all that good shit. He's the goddamn man. He is making his debut against Yoshihiro Takayama. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm sure Takayama's gonna get his ass kicked, but that is two big motherfuckers going at it. So that's going to be awesome. He's mid-level international as far as name value too, because of the K1 background. So that's cool. I'm a huge fan of him, so that's huge to have him. We also signed Daria Matsui, who, if you remember way back when the series started, he was initially on the roster, but then he was stolen away from us from Rings, if I remember correctly. I guess we can look real quick at employment history. Yeah, it was Rings, as that was fun. So it was stolen from us from Rings until November 2000. He was just kind of not doing anything. We didn't really want to sign him or anything, but now it's like, why not? He's 5'5" 2". He's, I believe, low-level international. Yes, he is. So, and he's taking on Ricardo Arona at our first 2002 show at Pride 19 Bad Blood. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We extended a lot of deals as well. You could see here, everybody you see. And then Young Choi, we signed him as well, which is kind of a bit of a reach deal. He's mid-level regional. He's a middleweight. He's 5-0. But, hey, we got a Korean guy. We got a Korean fighter. And he's young too, 23. Who knows? He's a guy. I wouldn't say he's like a tomato can out there, but he might get a win. I doubt it though. He loves to strike, so that's huge. Gotta love that. And then Dan Severn retired. Figured that was fun. He lost to Marco Ruth, and yeah, he was 38-5, 3-1. 43 years old, so it's only a matter of time. But yeah, that was just kind of what's all happened. Obviously, I'm going to keep the Heath Herring injury thing until that gets taken care of once he's back, and we can have him and Carlos Burrito, the fight that never was. I just like doing that. It's just fun that way. So we'll just go back to there. And all right, Pride 18, Cold Fury 2. Let's get it. As Inouye and Vanderlei Silva. Vanderlei Silva's first ever defense of his middleweight title. Hell fun. As we got here, as he's making his, obviously, first defense for the middleweight title, as they have fought once before. This was way back when, our first ever show at the Grand Prix 2000 opening round show, and Vanderlei Silva won by unanimous decision. Inouye's finished 4 of his last 5 opponents, 2 of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, which Vanderlei Silva's ranked 1st, and Inouye's ranked 5th. This is the 4th time that Vanderlei Silva has main evented a Pride event, whereas Inouye's main evented 3. Silva's finished 3 of his last 5, and has the significant weight advantage. As Vanderlei Silva's got 6-1, though, the Blur Cat staff picks, as Kevin is the lone man putting on. And Inouye, what an incredible run he has had, by the way, as you can tell from the fight history here. Taking on, after losing to Vanderlei Silva, in a great fight, too. He beat Ebenezer Fontes Barraga. He beat Vitor Belfort by rear naked choke, and he fucking TKO knocked out Dan Henderson in 47 seconds, in the first round. And I mean, he's just putting on a great performance. We'll see what happens here though, with this big time fight against Vanderlei Silva. As big knock, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira taking on the Smashing Machine, Mark Kerr, as everyone's got Big Nog winning this fight. Betting odds have Nogueira's a huge margin to win, as both fighters are ranked in the super heavyweights, as Nogueira is 3rd in the world, Mark Kerr's 10th in the world, which that makes sense, because we're the only ones who do a super heavyweight kind of thing, because the heavyweight division is 205 and up, I believe. It might be 225 and up, I always forget. But, oh no, kind of went a little too fast. The first time they fought each other, Kerr will have the significant weight advantage, and Nogueira is 1-0 against people, or Mark Kerr, rather, is 1-0 against Brazilian top team members. Now, Frank Shamrock, Anderson the Spider Silva. What a fight this is for both guys here, as Anderson Silva, his Pride debut, main event against Royce Gracie. He knocks out Royce Gracie. Now he's got Frank Shamrock here. Frank Shamrock making his Pride debut. He is obviously was a guy we wanted right at the beginning of the series. Signed with UFC, was kind of like, all right. Or no, he signed with Rings, actually. He didn't sign with UFC, if I remember correctly. Let's take a look. Yeah, it was Rings. Another guy was signed by Rings, but we got him here. Silva's finished 4 of his last 5. Shamrock has submitted 3 of his last 5. Both fighters are ranked in the world in light heavyweights, as Shamrock's 6, Silva's just there at 25. Shamrock trains at Lions Den, which Silva's 1-0 against other Lions Den people. First time they have fought. Silva's going to have the 6-inch reach advantage, and which, I mean, listen, Simi Chalette had an 11-inch reach advantage over Kevin Randleman. He still lost that fight, so it's not everything. But I'm about to say Ken Shamrock, Frank Shamrock, as a 7-0 Blur Cat Staff pick in his favorite. We'll see if Anderson Silva can get the win here, though. This is a huge fight for him. As the last Emperor, Fedor Emelianenko, taking on Royce Gracie. This is just a big win for... This is not only a big win, but a big fight for Fedor Emelianenko. I'm saying it's going to be a big win because Royce Gracie's not the same Royce Gracie of yesteryear. He is... he's going off his name value at this point. But Fedor's becoming Fedor, slowly but surely. He's going to win here, in my opinion. So this is a big fight for him, though. It's a catchweight fight. And Blackcat Staff have him 7-0 against Royce. We'll see how it goes, though. I think he's going to win pretty handedly. As the babyface assassin, Josh Barnett against Carlos Burrito. As Burrito's finished 3 of his last 5. Both fighters are ranked in the super heavyweights in the world, with Barnett's 4th, Burrito is 9th. Burrito trains the Brazilian top team, which Barnett's 1-0 against those guys, which he got that one win against Big Nog. As Barnett has won 3 of his last 5 by decision. The first time they fought, he's got a significant weight advantage, and the betting odds have him as a large favorite. Again, Black Cat 7-0 for Josh Barnett. As Trey Tillman and Nogueira Takata, this was just more of a, this is the undercard here. We're getting to the undercard bit. Both fighters are ranked in the super heavyweights in the world. Tillman's 16th, Takata's 22. Tillman trains at Lions Den, which Takata's 0-1 against people at Lions Den. First time they've fought. Tillman's going to have the significant weight advantage, and the betting odds have him as a large favorite. Again, another large favorite guy, as he's 7-0, the Blur Cat Staff. As Jerome Levine against Yoshihiro Takayama. Levine making his pro debut in MMA. The first time they fought, he's going to... I mean, even this is going to be all Drumley Banner for sure. As the opener, I believe this would be the first fight on the opening card. This might be on the prelims. I could be wrong though. As it's Little Nog taking on Akira Shoji. As Nogueira has a significant weight advantage, 5-inch reach, making his pro debut, and the betting odds have him as a large margin favorite. And it is on the prelim. As it's the only prelim fight. It's minus 660, plus 520 for Akira Shoji. In the middleweight division, 25 years old, 6'2", 205, 5'8", 185. As our referee, our judges, pre-fight stare down, which is almost comical, as Nogueira is so much taller than Shoji. As fighting in front of his own crowd, he gets a large ovation during his entrance. That's the opening bell, though. Nogueira comes forward to attack. Shoji fires off a counter jab. Nogueira connects with a nice jab and then catches him with a nice right hook to the ribs. Steps forward and starts the strike exchange. Shoji fires off a counter jab but doesn't connect with it. Nogueira throws a 1-2, but Shoji was equal to it. As Nogueira comes forward to the attack, Shoji tries to hit a jab and misses. Nogueira lands a jab and then hits a nice straight right hand that lands hard. As Nogueira comes forward and the two fighters start trading blows, Shoji hits a jab in exchange. A jab hits home from Nogueira, then hits Shoji with a beauty of a straight right hand. Two fighters engage. It strikes, but nothing significant lands. Both fighters come together and strike. Shoji misses a right hook and gets countered with a right cross. An exchange of strikes sees both fighters fail to land anything significant. Nogueira comes forward, and the two fighters engage in strikes. Shoji fires off counter jabs but doesn't connect. Nogueira lands a left hand, then scores with a right cross that landed hard. They come together and strike, but neither fighter does any damage. Nogueira comes forward, and the two fighters exchange strikes. Shoji hits a jab in the exchange. A 1-2 from Nogueira fails to land. Both fighters move in and engage. Shoji misses the right cross, but then leaves him wide open to the counter. Nogueira comes in with a jab attempted shot on the body that gets taken on the arm instead. As a quick exchange of strikes does not produce any damage. Halfway point in the round, both fighters meet in the center. Nogueira slips past the right hook and catches the left hand to the body. Taking a few gulps of breath, Nogueira's giving a first hint that he's starting to tire. As moving forward constantly now, Nogueira is pressuring Shoji. Shoji manages a counter jab. 2 jabs, hit home from Nogueira, then lands a vicious right cross that knocks him down. And Nogueira quickly pounces, looking to rain down punches on the stunned Akira Shoji. Firing away, connects with 2 or 3 heavy shots that rock Shoji. And he looks to get mount. Isn't able to get mount as Shoji this time around. He blocks Shoji as he tries to sweep from side control. Fires away with punches, but Shoji doesn't take any undue damage. Nogueira loses side control thanks to a sweep, but Shoji, from Shoji rather, but does manage to move to north-south position instead. Shoji takes a short knee strike to the side of the head. Tries to move under Nogueira, but that can't get free of it. Takes a few elbows to the midsection. There's not much behind him, though. Nogueira blocks Shoji as he tries to scramble. Throws some elbows to the body, albeit with not much in the way of power. Tries to scramble again, but Nogueira holding his place. Minute left in the round. Moving around, Nogueira slides into side control. Fires away with punches, but doesn't take any undue damage. Again, trying to pull guard, but Nogueira blocks it. Not doing anything on the damage. That's the end of the round. Definitely giving that to Lil Nog there. 5 minutes into the second round here, the final round. Shoji looks like he was going to step in and grapple, but Nogueira simply took the initiative first. A punch from Nogueira fails to land. A quick exchange of strikes does not produce any damage. Nogueira looks shattered. Initiates a clinch, but to buy some recovery time, as Shoji tries to wiggle free, but Nogueira controls him well and gets a few close-range punches too. Nogueira hits Shoji with some short strikes to the side of the head while grappling. Nogueira using dirty boxing gets in a few crisp punches on Shoji as they grapple. Tries to wiggle free. Again, Nogueira gets a few close-range punches in. As Nogueira is trying to push Shoji, that is back up against the ropes. He does so now. Shoji's pinned up against the ropes. As again, some dirty boxing from Nogueira. As again, smothering him and using more dirty boxing. 2 minutes left in the fight now, as Shoji's trapped again and hits a short left uppercut. As now he's looking blown up here. He waits for Nogueira to throw some strikes and quickly turns him, creating enough space to escape from the ropes. For the first time now, Shoji's starting to breathe a little heavier. They beat in the center. Neither fighter can manage to find the target. Shoji's off target with the left jab and also has a right hand absorbed on the gloves. Finds his right cross blocked as Nogueira. They engage some more. Bursts the strikes, but neither fighter gets caught. Another blocked right cross, this time from Shoji, though. As Nogueira misses the jab and also doesn't hit the hook to the body. Minute left in the fight. Both fighters meet in the center. Nogueira misses a big right hand, putting him off balance, allowing Shoji to attack with a right hand. Oh no, and now Nogueira's clinching up. Tries to wrestle Shoji backwards up against the ropes. He can't manage it. Shoji fought it off. Hits Shoji with some short strikes to the side of the head while grappling. And again, trying to pin him up against the ropes. And now he's pinned. That's the end of the fight. Kind of weird. Nogueira lost that. I think it's because he was so blown up. I mean, that second round was kind of pretty. Well, no, it wasn't even. I mean, look, the punches landed. But, look, I mean, if Akira Shoji was on the same level as Nogueira, that could have been really bad for him. As a unanimous decision, Lil Nog, yeah. Gets the win. It's decent, but he gets his Pride debut win. Name checks all of his sponsors, then thanks his fans who turned out to support him. Celebrates his Pride debut victory and says he's already looking forward to the next fight. As now to the main show. Jerome Le Banner fights off Yoshihiro Takayama. This is pretty close on the betting lines. That's kind of crazy. This is some big motherfuckers, though. 6'3", 260, 6'5", 265. Our referee, our judges, as Takayama being in front of his own crowd gets a loud cheer as he enters. Fight begins. Two fighters touch gloves. They engage with strikes, but neither lands anything worthwhile. Le Banner moves in on Takayama, preparing to throw. Takayama appeared to be going for a takedown, but Le Banner took the initiative first. A jab hits home from Le Banner, then he hits Takayama with a beauty of a straight right hand. As now he stalks Takayama, forcing him back into the corner. Fires off a counter jab to Takayama. He lands a left hand, then hits a sithering kick to the legs of Takayama. The exchange strikes are relatively close range, but nothing really lands. Two fighters engage. Takayama misses a big right hand, allowing Le Banner to counter with a brace of jabs that are followed with a good right hook. Connects with a nice jab and scores with the right cross. Now again into the corner. He's in the pocket. Fires off a counter jab from Takayama, but doesn't connect. Flurry of 3 punches from Le Banner. Sees 3 of them land, and he hits a sithering kick to the legs of Takayama. They meet in the center. Takayama misses a right hook. Leaves him open to be countered with a right cross. As again, he stalks him back into the corner. into the pocket, avoiding the jab, lands a left hand, then scores with a right cross. As he acknowledges some instructions from his corners, with a relaxed nod of the head, stalks Takayama again, forcing him back into the corner, steps into the pocket, avoiding a jab, hits a left hand, but the following leg kick misses. Again, gets him back in the corner, steps into the pocket, avoids the jab, connects with the jab, and Takayama avoids the low kick that is set up. As Cole, now again, gets him trapped in the corner, avoids a jab, is able to move into the pocket, feints on one way, throwing Takayama off balance, and then steps to the other side, lands a jab, and then hits a body kick. They come together and engage. Takayama misses a big right hand, allowing Levine to counter with a good right hand of his own. A few gulps of breath, Levine is giving a first hint that he is starting to tire a bit. He's looking to grapple, but the threat of getting hit is keeping him from rushing in. He can't hit a step left jab, and hits a nice straight right hand that lands hard. Two fighters engage. Takayama's off target with a left jab and hits a right cross. Levine lands a nice right hook. A quick exchange of strikes doesn't lead to anything. We're now past the halfway mark in the round. Takayama chooses to shoot in on Levine. That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, and he gets a single leg takedown. Levine has to pull guard. Looks to get past guard. Gets past guard. Now he's going to get side control. I mean, Levine has really no background of being on the ground, so this is perfect for him. Fires off a handful of punches, easily being blocked with gloves. Levine tries to sweep, but that ain't going to happen. Trying to move out from side control to mount. Doesn't get the mount, but only because Levine rolled over and gave up his back. Looking for the rear naked choke. Levine doesn't allow the arm to go under his chin. Attempts to turn over. Takayama gets turned onto his back and cannot stop Levine from spinning into guard. How about that? So now, for a moment, Levine is content to just throw a couple of punches to the body. Takayama tries to sweep Levine. He sweeps him, brilliantly gets him out. Minute left, and now just ground and pounding away. Fires off with punches, and Levine has taken several shots that threatened to end the fight right there. Now he's just kind of eating them. Now Levine's got to survive. 48 seconds. Can he do it? He lands several good shots in the process to Takayama. Now all the blows are being dealt with. 20 seconds. Now 9 seconds. Takayama blocks an attempt to move him from mount. And that's the end of the first round. Wow, what a fight that turned into. Once Takayama got him to the ground, that was all Takayama. But when they were standing, it was all Levine. But I think you'd have to give that fight to Takayama. He had the takedown. He landed, looks like the most strikes. Look at Takayama getting the win there on that round. Now it's going to come down to the second round. Can Levine swing the way? I think the only way he's going to be able to win this if he knocks him out at this point. We'll see, though. Because he's not going to get him to the ground or anything. This is getting knocked down. But Levine lands a left hand and it hits Takayama with a right head kick. Doesn't trouble his opponent with a triple punch combo. Takayama moves in fast and clinches with Levine. As Takayama's looking to muscle Levine back up against the ropes. Levine ends up backed up against the ropes now. As breathing very hard, Takayama's looking ragged out there. He drives a knee to the thigh area. Catches Levine with a knee strike to the thigh again. Clearly physically fatigued. As he's just, pressing all of his body weight, all 265 pounds, onto Levine, who's in the ropes, forcing him to carry all of his weight. They remain there for at least a minute, hitting each other with short punches to the body and the side of the head. Looking to sweep him. That's a great idea. Gets the outside leg sweep. Now he's got to pull guard. And loads of some right hands, but Levine deals with him comfortably. Levine tries to pull Takayama in close and smothers him, but he doesn't get anywhere with it. Takayama attempts to pass guard. Passes guard fairly easily, getting the side control. Inside control throws a couple of punches designed to keep Levine guessing. He's looking to try to sweep him, but he can't. Looking to get a minute left in the round, in the fight. Let's see what happens. Looking for a Kimura. Doesn't allow the Kimura, though. Tries to transition the guard, but he can't. Unloads with punches, but he's just dealing with them now. As, Takayama didn't have much energy left in that fight. As both guys were tired, but that's it. And unanimous decision for Yoshihiro Takayama. I think it's going to be 1-1. Yep, unanimous decision for Yoshihiro Takayama. A little bit of an upset there. And Jerome Levine gets his debut fight spoiled short from Yoshihiro Takayama. Is rated good, though. So it was a pretty exciting fight, especially for two guys who are very green into the sport. But the catch wrestling background is that was enough for him. Yoshihiro Takayama thanks all of his sponsors for backing him and also thanks his family, friends, and supporters. He praises Levine for a tough fight. As Trey Tillman, Nogueira Takata, Our next fight is our referee, our judges. Plus 540 for Nogueira Takata, minus 680 for Trey Tillman. As Takata is fighting in front of his home crowd, gets a big cheer as he makes his entrance. Round 1 begins. Tillman ignores the offer to touch gloves. He can't connect with a jab and hits Takata with a straight right. Blood is visible on Takata as a strike looks to have opened up a cut under his eye. Takata gets a hold of Tillman. Takata tries to take down Tillman. Stops the takedown attempt of Tillman, using his wrestling to take control of the grapple. Now he's trying to wrestle Takata backwards up against the ropes. He does so, and now Takata's pinned up against the ropes. Tillman uses dirty boxing to punish Takata while he pressed up against the ropes. Takata gets caught with a knee strike to the side of the stomach. Takata is trapped up against the ropes, and Tillman hits him with a short left uppercut. Takata gets caught with a knee to the inside of the thigh. A lot of inside the thigh knees there out of the clinch. We haven't seen that yet from anybody, so that's a fun new strategy people are pulling off. Tillman pins Takata up against the ropes, uses some dirty boxing to inflict some damage. Takes a knee strike to the inside of his own knee. Ooh, that's tough. Using his wrestling skills to prevent Tillman from attacking with dirty boxing. Although pressured up against the ropes, Takata still hits a few small punches to the ribs, rather. Tillman looks for a foot stomp, but Takata works enough space so he can pull clear and circle out. Tillman can't hit the setup jab, but then scores with the right cross. The clock is stopped as the referee wants to check on the cut on Takata. Doctor seems happy that the cut isn't going to be an issue. It continues now. Tillman throws a punch, but Takata avoids it. Takata gets a hold of Tillman, tries to use a trip takedown, doesn't get the trip takedown, instead wrestling his way into the controlling grapple. Using his wrestling skills, Tillman trying to push Takata up against the ropes. He does so. Now Takata's stuck up with his back to the ropes. Takes a knee strike to the inside of his own knee. Tries to use dirty boxing against Takata, but his opponent's wrestling skills prevent any damage from doing so. A few short punches to the ribs lands as Takata fights back. Takata is trapped up against the ropes, and Tillman hits a short left uppercut. As we're now halfway into the first round, Tillman using dirty boxing to punish Takata while he's pressed up against the ropes, looking for a knee to the thigh, but Takata works enough space to clear out and circle as Tillman throws a quick punch that doesn't hit. Takata moves in fast and clinches with Tillman. Looking for his third takedown, and he's 0 for 3 on takedowns as Tillman wrestles his way into a dominant position. From the grapple, Tillman tries to pick up Takata up on his shoulders for a slam. He does so. That's a big-ass slam. Takata's playing on his back and pulls guard. Time slips away as Tillman successfully keeps Takata stuck against the ground, smothering him now. Again, clock's running down. Takata's just smothering him. Again, smothering him. As Ingar throws a couple of punches to keep Takata guessing. Trying to get double underhooks in on Takata. Oh, no, actually, Takata tries to get double underhooks on Tillman so they can get some control, but he can't get them. 1 minute in the round. Lengthy period of stalemate results in the referee standing them both back up. Taking a few gulps of breath, Tillman is giving his first hint that he's starting to tire. Tillman throws a punch, but Takata was equal to it. Takata moves in fast and clinches with Tillman as attempts to wrestle Tillman to the ground. I don't think it's going to happen. He does. He actually gets it. How about that? As the takedown is complete, Tillman is on his back and pulls guard. Takata throws several small strikes at Tillman, always keeping close body-to-body contact so that he has no space to work with. Takata deflects a couple of punches that Tillman threw from below, and that's the end of the first round. I have to say it's probably all Tillman. Yeah, it's a little closer, but, Tillman's 1 for 1 on takedowns. Takata's 1 for 4. Tillman's landed more strikes, as he's landed about 14 more, to be exact, but, at least Takata got a takedown there for a while. I was thinking he was never going to get a takedown on him, but that's the bell. Final round begins. Tillman lands a jab and then lands a vicious right cross, and he wobbles, and he falls, does Takata. Tillman moves in quickly, kneeling beside Takata, and starts hammering down punches. Pounds away with rights. Takata's eating several big shots. Now Tillman unloads with right hands, but doesn't do a great deal of damage with them. Takata tries to pull guard on Tillman, but doesn't get anywhere with the attempt. Pounds away with punches, but can't quite land anything with power. Takata tries to transition the guard, but he can't manage it. Tillman pounds away with right hands, but doesn't do much damage. Takata brings his legs up ends to trap Tillman in half guard. Tillman pounds away with rights, but fails to land anything significant. Blocks an attempt to move from half guard to full guard as he looks to get past the half guard. Takata fights off the attempt, but they wind up in a scrambling position. As the scramble somehow results in Tillman underneath Takata in north-south position. Takata strikes Takata strikes Tillman in the ribs with a few short elbows, but they lack any venom. Tillman slides to one side and scrambles for a position. Tillman ends up having to pull guard, losing out in the scramble. Takata is trying to get out of the half guard and in a better position. He passes half guard, but Tillman was ready and immediately starts to scramble. Tillman ends up in having to pull half guard, losing out in the scramble. Takata throws a few punches, a few right hands, so he takes a moment to plan ahead. Takata tries to pound on Tillman, but none of the blows land with any degree of power. Takata blocks an attempted move from half guard to full guard, and that is it. That is the end of the fight. Have to give that to unanimous decision, Trey Tillman. Yep. As I was rated good as well. How about that? As Trey Tillman thanks everyone connected to the Alliance and for helping him prepare for this fight. Then the sponsors for supporting him financially, showing respect. Trey Tillman praises Takata for skill and toughness. As now the babyface assassin, Josh Barnett, versus Carlos Burrito, 12-1, 12-4, minus 690, plus 550. As our referee, our judges, that's the bell. Two fighters come forward and engage. Barnett uses a left jab, but has a right hand to take it on the gloves. Hits a left hand as Burrito. They come together and strike. There's a brief exchange of fire, but neither fighter lands. Barnett does not find the mark with his right hook. Tries the right hand, but it gets absorbed on his opponent's gloves as Burrito. Both fighters come together and strike. Both fighters strike, but nobody manages to land anything. Doesn't find the mark of the right hook, so everyone's just kind of missing shit. Doesn't connect with the left jab, and it also has his right hook blocked, rather. To Carlos Burrito, both fighters step in and strike. Scores with the jab, but misses with the right hook. Connects cleanly with the right hand. Comes forward, rather than two fighters engage. Strikes, Burrito manages a counter jab. Barnett opens Burrito up with a feint. Throws two quick punches, but doesn't hit either of them. Both fighters meet in the center. Two fighters strike, but without success. Barnett is off target with a left jab and also fails on the leg kick. Burrito tries a right hook, but misses. Both fighters come together and strike. Burrito is off target with a left jab and also has a right hand taken on the gloves. Barnett is off target with a left jab and also misses a right hook. Two fighters come together and strike, but it's really tentative and nothing comes of it. Both fighters step up and strike. Burrito misses a right hook and gets countered with a quick left jab and kick to the leg. They come together and strike. Burrito misses a right cross that leaves him open to counter. Barnett attacks with a great right hook. Both fighters meet in the center. Barnett misses the right hook and leaves himself open to be countered with a quick left jab and a right hook that is ducked. Two fighters engage. There's a brief exchange of fire, but neither fighter lands. Burrito misses a jab and also finds his right cross blocked. Barnett misses a jab and also misses with the right hand. My God. Burrito comes forward and the two fighters come together and exchange strikes. Barnett tries to hit a jab but misses. A jab lands for Burrito, but Barnett avoids a big right hand. For the first time, Burrito is starting to breathe a little heavier now. Both fighters move in and engage. Burrito's off target with a jab but connects with the right hand. He misses with the left jab but lands a nice right hook. Two fighters come together. There's a flurry of activity, but neither fighter is able to land a telling strike. Doesn't connect with the left jab and also has a right hook blocked. Misses the left jab but also has a right hand blocked. As Barnett comes forward. Steps into the pocket, showing a little fear of Burrito. Barnett throws a 1-2, but Burrito is equal to it. Both fighters move in and engage. Barnett slips past the right hook and counters with a good right hand. Standing and trading is not working for Burrito so far in this fight, as he has simply been outclassed and outstruck. That is for sure. Two fighters engage. Burrito misses the right hook, leaves him open, and gets kind of the good right hook. The two combatants meet in the center and start to strike. Burrito scores with a jab, but finds his right cross blocked. Lands a 1-2, does Barnett. Barnett is starting to slow down a touch, perhaps conserving a low energy. Comes forward, looking to force a strike exchange. Barnett's in the pocket. Throws two quick punches. Doesn't hit either of them, though. My God. He was in the pocket and everything and missed. Both fighters step in to strike. Burrito lands a left hook. Hits a jab, but has a right hand absorbed on the gloves of Josh Barnett. An exchange of strikes sees both fighters fail to land anything significant. Moving forward constantly now, Barnett is pressuring Burrito. Burrito manages a counter jab. Barnett throws a quick 1-2, but doesn't land either blow. Comes forward looking to force strike exchange. Barnett bobs out of the way of a jab and moves into the pocket. Connects with a jab, but finds nothing but air with a big right hand. Both fighters come together and strike. Burrito misses the right hook and gets countered with a jab and a right cross that just misses. We're into the final minute of the round now. Two fighters engage. Both fighters strike, but neither manages to land anything. Barnett is off target with the left jab and also misses the right hook. Burrito's off target with the jab and also does connect with the right hand. A few deeper breaths portray that Burrito is starting to get into the deeper reaches of his gas tank. Two combatants meet in the center of the ring and start to strike. Burrito's off target. A left jab is off target but connects with the right hand. Barnett hits a 2-punch combo, a quick left hand and a straight right. Both fighters come together and strike. Burrito lands a left hook, and Barnett lands a powerful right hook and is knocked down right at 9 seconds left in the first round and gets knocked down. Moves in quickly, kneeling beside Burrito, starts hammering down on punches, but that's the end of the round. Saved by the Bellas cross Burrito. Definitely was all Barnett before that happened, though. I guess you couldn't say all Barnett. It was kind of close. But once they got to the ground, or once obviously the knockdown happened, Josh Barnett's clearly now the unanimous decision will go to him, unless Burrito can get something going in the second round, which I don't think is going to happen. Two fighters come in the center and engage. Barnett dodges the right hand and a counterattacks with a left jab and a right hand. Burrito got accidentally poked in the eye in that exchange. Oh no! An eye poke. Oh no, the referee gives them a few moments to recover now. They restart, both fighters move in and engage. Burrito can't hit a right cross. Barnett has a right hand taking on the gloves. Both fighters meet in the center. Burrito scores with a jab and misses with the right hand. Barnett uses the left jab and also hits a good right hand. Burrito looks very tired out there. They come together and strike. Burrito misses a right hook and gets kind of with a jab and a great right hook. They come together and strike. Burrito misses a right hook and leaves himself open to be countered with a left cross. Both fighters step in to strike. Burrito misses a right hook and gets countered with a left hook. The fighters fall into a sloppy clinch, rather than a slippery clinch, as Barnett is trying to muscle Burrito up against the ropes. He does so, and now Burrito's pinned up into the ropes. Barnett tries to get Burrito into a Muay Thai clinch. He does, as Burrito could not fight out of it. Halfway mark into the second round. From the clinch, he gets caught with a massive knee to the chest. From the looks of it, that last strike may have potentially caused a broken rib for Burrito. Jesus fucking Christ. As if they're broken, that's really going to affect his ability to continue the fight effectively, as he blocks the knee strike but cannot get free of the clinch now. Now he gets a knee to the side of the ribs. Jesus Christ. As Barnett tries a knee strike but doesn't connect it, but Burrito isn't able to get free of the clinch either. Barnett's breathing very hard now. 43 seconds left in the fight. Now he's on the verge of exhaustion now as Burrito. Using the clinch, he drives the knee into the chest, but doesn't have much force behind it. Burrito finally breaks free of the clinch. 30 seconds left in the fight. Both fighters move in and engage. Has a right hand taken on the gloves. Burrito misses the left jab, and also can't hit the right cross. They engage. Barnett slips past the right hook and continues with the right cross, but that's the end of the fight. And unanimous decision will be to Josh Barnett. Yep. He gets the win. It was rated poor. That kind of makes sense. But 13-1 now for Josh Barnett. See if I can look at his fight stats now. So I believe his last fight was decent. So far, decent to poor. Poor and poor. So both of his Pride fights have been poor. That's not good. It's 14-1 now. As Barnett gives a name check to everyone at Minnesota Martial Arts Academy, all of his various sponsors, then his friends, family, supporters. He says a lot of respect for Carlos Burrito and praises his toughness. So yeah, that was a lot of whiffing on that one. That was not a great fight at all. So moving on now. The last Emperor, Fedor Emelianenko, squares off against Royce Gracie. As our referee, our judges, Fedor is the much larger fighter, estimated to have at least 30 pounds on Royce Gracie. Underway now, Fedor ignores the offer of touch gloves on the fucking legend, the god himself, Royce Gracie. Gracie moves in and clinches. Looking for a trip takedown right off the rip. He doesn't get the takedown. Fedor instead wrestles his way into controlling the grapple. Fedor hits Gracie with a knee strike to the body as they grapple. Tries to wrestle Gracie backwards up against the ropes. He does it. Now Gracie's stuck with his back. Has solid control and he appears to be trying to set up a suplex. Jesus Christ, a big suplex from Fedor Emelianenko as now Gracie pulls half guard. Fedor throws a few right hands. He's takes a moment to plan ahead. Blocks the attempted sweep. Looking to catch his breath. Fedor's just content to throw a couple of punches to the body. Tries to transition to full guard, but he can't manage it. Throws a few strikes, but it's clearly slowing things down so he can catch his breath. Tries to sweep Fedor, but he can't do it. Again, half guard. Fedor just throwing punches designed to keep Royce guessing. Fedor blocks the attempted sweep again. Unloads some right hands, but Gracie deals with them comfortably. Fedor blocks Gracie as he tries to sweep from guard. No progress being made. Referee stands him back up. Fedor moves in close, ready to attack. A defensive jab hits from Gracie. Fedor can't hit the setup left jab and then catches Gracie with a right hook. Gracie may have been aiming to get in close, but Fedor aggressively took the initiative first. A jab lands from Fedor, but missed with a low kick. Moving in fast, Gracie wrestles his way into the dominant position of the clinch. Looking for another trip takedown. He doesn't get the trip takedown. Fedor instead wrestling his way to get control. Again, wrestling him up against the ropes. He does so. Again. Looking for another suplex. He does it. Again. Fucking deja vu there as 2 for 2 on takedowns. Gracie gives up his back. Pounds away, but is unable to land any clean shots. Gets both hooks in now. Looking for the rear naked choke. He gets it. Gets flattened out. As, oh no, he's refusing to tap out. Oh my god. As he goes limp, and the referee has no choice but to end the fight. Jesus fucking Christ. Tactical submission from the last Emperor Fedor Emelianenko. Royce Gracie doesn't give a fuck, son. You're not gonna make me tap out from a rear naked choke, young man. Says rated average. We'll take it. Fedor 4-0. Royce Gracie 12-4-1. Is Fedor Emelianenko. Thanks everyone connected to Red Devil Sport for helping him prepare for this fight, and then the sponsors for supporting him financially. Says it was a tough fight and gives the show respect to Royce Gracie, the legend himself. As moving on to the next match, in which Frank Shamrock competes against Anderson the Spider Silva, plus 390 from Anderson Silva, minus 490 for Frank Shamrock. The submission fighting, kickboxing background from Frank Shamrock, the Muay Thai background from Anderson the Spider Silva, our referee. Our judges, here we go, the fight begins, they touch gloves. Silva lands a jab and scores with the right cross. Takedown attempt from Frank Shamrock, he gets the takedown, it's a single leg, and Silva has to pull guard. Tries to pass guard. Passes the side control, but doesn't have enough time to secure a position as Silva starts to scramble. Shamrock spots an opportunity, moves in, and tries to secure one of his opponent's legs. He misses that chance, and the leg, to secure the leg, rather, and ends up on the bottom with Silva in side control. As Shamrock made a tactical error there, going for the leg was absolutely the wrong move in that situation. While the veteran, at least in this fight, he's only 20 years old, but a guy who's got 22-9-2 record makes the fatal mistake against Anderson, the Spider Silva, who's now on top. Silva throws a few strikes, but they are without venom. Tries to pull guard on Silva, but he doesn't get anywhere with the attempt. Fires off a few punches, but aren't thrown with great force. Tries to pull guard, but again, Silva doesn't go anywhere with that. A few right hands, he takes a moment to plan ahead. Tries to transition the guard, but he can't. Preparing to launch a knee strike to the ribs from side control, but Shamrock was ready and springs into life, bucking Silva off and scrambling for position. The scramble ends with Shamrock grabbing Silva and getting a waist lock, gaining back control. As, oh no, looking for the takedown. He gets it. As Silva finds himself unable to do anything at all, Shamrock takes him down with impressive ease. As he lands face first, and Shamrock holds him on and takes his back. Silva is increasing the trouble as now Shamrock's got both hooks in. Looking for the rear naked choke, and he gets it. And he taps out. Back-to-back rear naked choke finishes. This time, though, Anderson Silva tapped out. And your winner by submission, Frank Shamrock, 23-9-2. Now it's Anderson Silva, 6-2. That's a tough fight, though, for Anderson Silva. But, the kid's going to be young. He's young, but he'll be right back for us. As giving thanks, Frank Shamrock praises his team at Lions Den, his various sponsors, and the fans who came out to support him. Says he's very happy to have won in his Pride debut, and that he's very happy to be here. As Big Nog versus the Smashing Machine Mark Kerr. Big Nog 9-2, the co-main event, taking on Mark Kerr, who has been, I mean, we all know his fight history now. In the last 2 fights now, he's been knocked out very impressively by both Gary Goodrich, the one in 47 seconds, and then Simi Chalette with the TKO. Had the broken nose, I believe. It might have been a broken jaw, I forget off the top of my head. But he got fucked up in that fight, too. In this fight here, no different. Minus 820 and plus 650 for Mark Kerr. Refereeing the bout. Our judges. Size difference is clear, as Mark Kerr's got at least 25 pounds on him. Barely moving during the introductions, as Nogueira's looking completely and utterly focused on the task at hand. We are underway. They start with a touch of gloves. Nogueira comes in looking to get a strike exchange going. Throws a quick punch, but doesn't hit it. Getting a setup left jab, but then hits a nice right hook to the ribs. Nogueira uses the left jab, but can't connect with the right to the body. Nogueira constantly moving in closer, looking to throw some strikes. Kerr may have been aiming to get in close, but Nogueira aggressively took the initiative first. Nogueira can't connect with a set of strikes, but then catches Kerr with a right hook. As Nogueira fails to find home for his jab, but then hits Kerr with a beauty of a straight right. Nogueira can't connect with the jab and then hits a nice straight right hand again. Nogueira acknowledges some instructions from his corner with a curt nod of the head and returns his full attention to the fight. Lands a jab and then hits Kerr with a straight right. Can't hit a setup left jab, but then scores the right to the body. Just body shots now. Body shot after body shot. Nogueira hits the left jab and scores the right cross. Showing a good hand speed, Nogueira lands a fury of three punches and then catches Kerr with a right hook as Nogueira lands 2 jabs and hits a nice straight right hand. Kerr rarely circles and looking for the opening, he looks to initiate some grappling. Nogueira throws 2 quick punches but doesn't hit either of them. Kerr sees the opportunity and grabs Nogueira into a clinch, trying to muscle Nogueira up against the ropes. Can't move Nogueira at all though, and he finds himself being out-wrestled by Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira as Big Nog is looking to muscle Kerr back up against the ropes. Can't do it though, and now Kerr gets a more dominant position in the grapple instead. Now he's looking to be the one who muscles Nogueira up against the ropes, as Nogueira doesn't let himself be driven back though. And now he gets it though after the second attempt. He pins Nogueira up against the ropes. Shows great control, keeping Nogueira pressed up against the ropes. As they remain up against the ropes for the next 30 seconds, doing little other than throwing occasional short punches. As using double underhooks for the control. They engage in grueling close-up battle of short strikes for 30 seconds or more. Kerr tries to smother Nogueira against the ropes, but he wrestles free and clinches and circles back to the center, Taking a few gulps of breath, Nogueira is giving his first hint he's starting to tire a touch. Nogueira comes in looking to strike. Looks like we're about to see Kerr try to get some grappling started, but Nogueira was more aggressive and took the initiative. Nogueira fails to find home for his jab, but then scores the right cross. Nogueira can't connect with a setup left jab, and scores the right roundhouse kick to the ribs. That is tough. It looked like we were about to see Kerr try to get some grappling started, but again, Nogueira was more aggressive, took the initiative. Doesn't trouble his opponent with a combination ending in a high right head kick. Kerr looked like he was going to step in and grapple. Again, though, Nogueira took the initiative first. A jab was wide from Nogueira, then hits Kerr with a right head kick. It looked like it was about to... Again, Nogueira aggressively took the initiative first instead of Kerr. Nogueira connects with a nice jab, then hits Kerr with a straight right hand. As for like the 8th time now, Nogueira aggressively took the initiative first. Nogueira connects with a jab, but misses with the kick to the body. Attacking with intent now. Scores with a fury of 3 punches, but misses with a low kick. Hits a left jab and catches Kerr with a right roundhouse kick to the body. Kerr moves in and out, hoping to tempt his opponent into a reckless strike and leaving an opening to start grappling. Nogueira hits a left jab and hits Kerr with a straight right. Few deep breaths portray that Nogueira is starting to get into the deeper reaches of his gas tank. Moving around, now Kerr is looking for an opening to grapple without getting hit. Nogueira can't hit a setup left jab and then scores with a right roundhouse kick to the ribs. Can't connect with jab and then catches Kerr with a right hook. And that's the end of the first round. So yeah, nothing, that was all Big Nog, by the way. Well, not all Big Nog, but half of it was all Big Nog there. Just he was pushing the pace, and should it be over right now? Probably. But not a lot happened in that round, and the fans are getting a bit restless. As that's there's the bell to start the final round. Nogueira moves in closer, looking to open up an attack. It looked like we were about to see Kerr try to get some grappling started, but Nogueira was more aggressive and took the initiative. A 1-2 from Nogueira fails to land. Kerr has looked like he was angling the grapple, but he couldn't take the initiative. Nogueira can't connect with the jab, but then lands a big right hand. Nogueira connects with a nice jab and catches Kerr with the right hook. Nogueira's breathing very hard now. Kerr had looked like he was angling the grapple, but he couldn't take the initiative. Nogueira fails to find home for his jab, but then scores the right to the body. A jab is wide from Nogueira, then he scores with the right cross. Kerr isn't rushing in, worried about potentially getting hit if he gets close enough to grapple. A jab hits home from Nogueira, and then he catches Kerr with a right hook to the body. Nogueira hits a left jab and then scores with the right cross. We're now halfway point of the round. Nogueira connects with a nice jab and then hits Kerr with a straight right. He can't connect with a jab and hits Kerr with a straight right. Moves in closer, does Nogueira ready to attack. Pretty good, trying to get in close, but again, Nogueira took the initiative first. Nogueira lands a jab and then scores with the right to the body. Studies his opponent, looking pretty relaxed and confident at this point, yeah, as Kerr has looked like he was angling the grapple, but he couldn't take the initiative. Nogueira hits the left jab and hits Kerr with the right to the side of the ribs. Lands a left hand and hits Kerr with a straight right. Looks like he doesn't have a lot left to give now with a minute left of the fight. Nogueira fails to find home for his jab, but then hits Kerr with a straight right. Looks like there's been a cut underneath Kerr's eye. Minute left in the fight. Nogueira lands a jab and scores with a right cross. Lands a left hand and hits a nice straight right hand. Lands a left hand and lands a right hand. And that's the end of the fight. Unanimous decision win for Big Nog there. Yep. Rated average. So at least it could have been worse. As Big Nog thanks everyone connected to the Brazilian top team for helping him prepare for this fight, and his sponsors for supporting him financially. He's asked who he'd like to face next, and he answers that Igor, ice cold Igor, would be someone he'd like to compete against. That'd be fun. That's a fun fight. As our main event, middleweight title fight, our first defense we'll ever see of this title, Inouye versus the Axe Murderer Wanderlei Silva. Here we go, 13-4, 14-2. Wrestling, jiu-jitsu background, a Muay Thai background, lines in versus shoot to box. Betting lines is 150 to minus 150 a piece. They're both weighed in at 205, and I'm sure Wanderlei Silva's going to be a little bit heavier than that for this fight. They're 5'11", 5'10". 25 years old for Wanderlei Silva, 34 years old for Inouye. The middleweight title's on the line. Yuji Shimada is our referee, our judges. Silva may have weighed in the same as we talked about, but now he's got a significant size advantage now. About to fight in front of his home crowd, Ensign, unsurprisingly, gets a loud ovation from the crowd as he makes his entrance. Round 1 begins. They start with a touch of gloves. Silva moves in closer, looking to open up an attack. A jab is wide from Silva, then hits a nice straight right hand. He moves in closer, again looking up to open up an attack. Ensign may have been aiming to get in close, but Silva aggressively took the initiative first. Silva throws a punch, but Ensign was equal to it. Silva lands a jab and lands a right head kick as he hits a left hand, but it can't connect to the head kick. Silva moves in on Ensign, preparing to throw. A jab lands from Silva, but a big right to the body fails to find the target. Silva can't hit the setup left jab, but then catches Ensign with a crunching right hook. Silva comes in looking to strike. A jab is wide from Silva, but then catches Ensign again with a crunching right hook, and another crunching right hook. And he hits a jab as wide from Silva, then hits Ensign with a beautiful straight right. So he's missing the setup jab, but he's connecting with the follow-up with it. It's either hook or straight right. Either way, though, as that last punch may have landed badly now, as Silva is shaking off as if he got his hand damaged. Oh no, now he's got a broken right hand. That's not fun. As if any sort of major damage to that hand is going to cause Silva some major problems now. Silva throws a punch, but Ensign was equal to it. Seizing the opportunity now, Ensign clinches. Ensign grabs an arm and tries to pull Silva down to the ground into his guard. The attempt is unsuccessful, though, as Silva blocked and takes control of the grappling. Silva tries to get Ensign into a Muay Thai clinch. He gets it now. Ensign is in trouble, using the Muay Thai clinch as he blasts Ensign with a big knee to the chest. He misses the knee, but he maintains the control of the clinch. He finds an attempt. The knee gets caught, and leverage allows Ensign to wrestle free of the Muay Thai clinch. Throws a quick punch, but doesn't land, does Silva, as Ensign takes the chance and grabs Silva into a clinch of his own. As now we're halfway into the round, he tries to suck Silva into the ground by wrapping his legs around his waist and pulling him to the ground. He defends it well, as he now takes control of the clinch, trying to force Ensign into the Muay Thai clinch. He's got it. Now Ensign's got to find a way out of this quickly, as he tries to wrestle free of it, but he can't. As a sternum-crunching knee to the chest, he blocks the knee strike, can't get free of it, uses the clinch, another vicious knee, this time to the ribs of Inouye. Ensign tries to wrestle free of the clinch, but he can't. As Silva breaks the Muay Thai clinch, deciding to try a different strategy now. Still moving well, though, but he's definitely breathing a little deeper now as Wanderlei Silva. Inouye may have been aiming to get in close, but Wanderlei Silva aggressively took the initiative first. Throws a quick punch, but doesn't land. Moves in closer, looking to open up an attack, as Ensign appeared to be going to try to get in close, but Silva took the initiative first. Throws a punch, but Ensign avoids it. A punch from Silva fails to land. Comes in and grabs Silva in a clinch. Is with the clinch now, he's trying to complete a takedown. He can't get the takedown, as Silva wrestles his way into a dominant position. 1 minute left in the fight, or into the first round now, as Silva's looking to muscle Ensign back up against the ropes. He's back up against the ropes. Knee strike to the thigh now. Tries to force Ensign back into the Muay Thai clinch, as now he's got it for at least 30 seconds. Another big knee to the chest. Tries to wrestle free of the Muay Thai clinch, but he can't, but that's the end of the fight. That was all Wanderlei Silva. Inouye may have landed 5 punches. Didn't even land a punch. Jesus Christ, what a one-sided title fight this is. This has been all Wanderlei Silva. The only damage he's done is to his own self when he fucking the only damage Inouye's done is from Vanderlei Silva himself, probably breaking his own hand, as a big black bruise on the side is evident now that the shots that Inouye has been taking tonight have been doing damage. That's not good. As our last round of the fight, 5 minutes left. Let's see if Inouye can survive a little bit longer. I mean, this is impressive that he has not been taken down from even a knockdown at this point. As Silva can't connect with a set of strikes when it lands a right hand, steps in looking to unleash, lands a left hand but misses the vicious right hand, throws a 3-punch combo, but Inouye defends them all. Seizing the opportunity, Inouye clinches, looking for the trip takedown. Silva blocks the takedown, takes control of the grapple, tries to lock in Inouye with a Muay Thai clinch. He does. And another massive knee to the chest. Silva keeps control of the knee, or keeps control of the clinch, rather, despite missing a knee strike. Halfway into the round, uses the clinch. Another sternum-crunching knee to the chest. Tries to wrestle free the clinch, but he can't. Another sternum-crunching knee to the chest. This is like the third one, but Inouye finally escapes the Muay Thai clinch. Slowing just a bit now, just starting to get into the gas tank. Starts to have push himself now, as the corner responded by urging him on a little louder. Moves in, preparing to throw. Throws a quick punch, but doesn't land. Inouye had looked like he was angling the grapple, but he couldn't take the initiative. Silva can't hit the set-up left jab, then scores the right cross that landed hard, and that's it. He has been rocked. Backs off and comes up clearly rocked. Silva immediately advances, sensing that the fight has a chance to be finished here. Gets in the Muay Thai clinch, as he's even more in serious trouble now. Blasting with a knee strike to the chest. Silva's breathing very hard. 30 seconds left in the fight. Gets caught with the knee strike. Inouye's trying to wrestle free the clinch now. That's the end of the fight. Unanimous decision win for the axe murderer Vanderlei Silva, 15-2. Inouye will be 13-5 now. And he does. The axe murderer makes defense number 1 of his prime middleweight title. What a survival. And what toughness showed from Inouye there. I mean, he got his fucking ass kicked for 15 minutes and was only rocked once. That's crazy, because he got his shit pushed in for sure. Vanderlei Silva gives a name check to everyone that shoot the box. All of his various sponsors, then his friends, family, supporters, the prime middleweight title strapped around his waist. Vanderlei Silva celebrates having retained his title, and is rated 67. You know, that is what it is. Still a critical rating, a high critical rating, nonetheless. But if it wasn't for these opening routes in this Frank Shamrock Anderson Silva fight, this would have been very bad. Very, very bad. A lot of average fights. But this is interesting to see how one-sided this title fight was. But it's just kind of, it is what it is. You know, Vanderlei Silva just on a fucking tear among tears. As our pop's increasing, that's huge. Hell yeah. As that will do it for this episode here. It is, oh wow. Also, before we go, real quick, Rich Franklin has his last ever non-Pride exclusive fight against Flavio Luis Mora there, but that's gonna be a great fight. But over here in the prelims, fucking Ultimate Fighter finale happening on the prelim of a MFC card. Stephan Bonner, Forrest Griffin. Kind of crazy. We'll see what happens here. We're not gonna, actually play. We're just gonna skip to the end as Forrest Griffin won by unanimous decision. How fun! So now their debut and the mod was against each other. That's just fun as shit. His name checks everyone, and all that. He's very happy to have won his MFC debut. He's very happy to be here. Hell yeah! And then the my quick swig. I have him shortlisted, so that's why it's showing that. And then the main event. Rich Franklin wins with a knockout in the second round, 7-0 for Rich Franklin. Now Flavio is 10-2, or 9-2 rather. Jesus, hell yeah, Rich Franklin, a belt that he'll never have to defend because we gave him a written deal. Finally, because I was just kind of like, because when we signed him, I was like, oh yeah, let's have him work elsewhere. But then he got hurt after one of his fights. I was like, that's probably a terrible idea. We'll just try to sign him. So yep, there is that. So thank you all, as we will catch you guys next Monday for episode 14. And actually, no, it would be before that, because we're going to probably do a end of the year kind of run-through show like we did last time at the end of the year 2000. So it's going to be probably Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere around that time, before the next Local to Global episode that's happening Thursday, which that's a fun-ass series. Even though it's the Seaverse, I know a lot of people are very scared about caring about the Seaverse, because they have no connection or whatnot, but if you try, and you give an effort, and after a while you're used to the characters, then you will have a connection. That's just me. But thank you all, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.